sometimes there's not family-friendly performers. And I bring this up because the next performer specializes in the Venn diagram overlap of speculative fiction and things that make baby Jesus cry. Adult Jesus as well. Probably makes God laugh, because I think God has a sense of humor, but definitely Jesus is crying. Please welcome the Reverend Pat D.
I had just written a screenplay which I wanted to be published into a movie or a play. So I go by the Guthrie Theater and I told them that I wrote a screenplay called Return of the Living Dead Fetuses, which is about a girl who gives herself an abortion by sticking a coat hanger up her twat, and then a minister from a Baptist church finds out, in which he performs an abortion, and at the scene of the abortion, in which he then goes into a trance and he jerks off on the remains of the aborted fetus, which causes all the unborn fetuses to come back from the dead and eat the brains of pro-lifers. After I describe my screenplay, they tell me that they are not interested in producing my screenplay into a play. And all this was going on while the Little House on the Prairie play was going on, and I tell them that in my previous lifetime I was Laura Ingalls Wilder, and I told them that I could afford to see the play, and I asked them that they would be willing to give me a free ticket so I could see the play for free, and they refused to give me a free ticket. These uptight theaters, I'm sick and tired of these motherfuckers with a stick up their ass and all their fucking bullshit. I couldn't find a single theater that would produce my screenplay, and someone told me that if I lived in Los Angeles, I would have a good chance of getting it published. So I said, fuck this shit, I'm moving to Los Angeles, I can't take this shit anymore. I go, fuck. Let's say it. Okay, so I go online to check out the apartments and the rents. And the rents for apartments are over $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month. Those greedy, money-grubbing scumfuck landlords, I can't take this fucking shit anymore. I then found out that Sheldon Cooper was looking for a roommate, but I then found out that Sheldon Cooper, I would be living with 3 other guys, but at least the rent would be reasonable. And I also could take my cat with. The problem is I don't get along with people very good, and things turn to shit very quickly. And I thought that Sheldon would work out because he has Asperger's syndrome, and not only that, they made a TV show about his life called Big Bang Theory. Well, what happened is I was smelling my cat's ears at the same end of the couch and at the same time that Sheldon likes to eat his breakfast. And I told him that I really enjoy smelling the cat's ear, especially when a bunch of brown stuff gets on my nose. And he called me a weirdo. And then I lost my temper because I thought he'd be more tolerant. And we got into a big fight, and then he threw me out. And now where the fuck am I going to live? And it turns out that Penny, the girl who lived across the hall from them, moved out. And they decided to convert her apartment into Section 8 housing, and I was able to move in there. What happened is Penny decided to drop a few hits of acid. And then G.G. Allen appeared, and he said, I would love to have a bowel movement on you, baby. So she rubbed excrement all over herself and the walls of her apartment while she masturbated. And then when her landlord came in, she was evicted for having shit smeared all over her apartment. When I came in to look at the apartment, I told them that it smells like shit in here. And they told me, don't worry, we'll fumigate it and sanitize it before you move in. I was so happy. I found my own apartment in Los Angeles with affordable rent. Sheldon apologized for the way he treated me, and he admitted that he had plenty of habits himself that would drive people crazy, such as he likes to keep logs of his own bowel movements. And I showed Sheldon my spoken words, and he absolutely loved it. and loved them. And he really loved my Return of the Living Dead Fetuses story. And I told him that someone told me that in Los Angeles I have a very good chance that my screenplay would get published into a theatrical production. And he told me that whoever told me that told me a bunch of fucking bullshit. He told me that they were having a contest for the most vulgar but creative writer in New York. At the same time, he would be attending a Star Trek convention. I said there ain't a place in New York that I could afford to stay, and he told me that he knows a guy, his name is Mike Stivic, and he lives out in Queens. And me and him could stay with him, but he ain't sure if things would work out with his father-in-law. And as you know, that New York is a very liberal city. And during the last presidential election, there was only one person that voted for Donald Trump, and that person was Archie Bunker. Well, when I get there, Archie Bunker asked, "Whoa, what brings you to New York?" And I told him that a contest is going on for the most vulgar but creative writer, and I told him about my Return of the Living Dead Fetuses play. And I told him about the girl who gives herself an abortion by sticking a coat hanger up her twat, and a minister performs an exorcism at the scene of the abortion and jerks off on the remains of the aborted fetuses. And then Archie Bunker went fucking apeshit and said, "You are a sick weirdo. This is a Christian house that believes in family values. Get the fuck out of my house." Archie then went on to call me a sick fuck. And then Edith, his wife, said, "Pat, I need to talk to you." Edith said, "Please don't talk about abortions and joking off on the aborted fetuses in front of Archie." I said, "Fuck that shit, I ain't giving up my freedom of speech." And then Edith said, "Archie could throw you out. You know how expensive it is in New York." And then he said, "Archie is a very thin-skinned snowflake, and he gets offended very easily. I want to see you get your spoken words published." And if that's not enough, Sheldon got Archie upset because he got diarrhea, and he mentioned that his diarrhea had yellow ribbons floating it with white bubbles in the middle of it. And the meathead said, "Archie, Pat and Sheldon are on the autism spectrum, and they will say things at times that are inappropriate. Now, what's your excuse, Arch?" "Well, I got my Return of the Living Dead Fetuses published into a story. Published. And I got paid millions of dollars for it, and I am so happy. And I'm just wondering if there's anyone here who is from New York."
Reverend Pat D, everybody. Fun fact, I once asked the Reverend Pat D after a show, just as a challenge, to write a story that would be family friendly and didn't swear, and he did, and it ended up being way more disturbing than any of his other actual stories. But it was an experience.
Not Satan causing poo-poo to sink.
Yes, there's a lot of poop in there. So you might have noticed on your table that there is